When I hit 12, I was really angry. At 15, I got pregnant with my daughter, and I was on juvenile probation at that time, and I wanted to do good for my daughter. I was gonna be a mother. I was working, trying to go to school, and I had a baby at 15 years old. I was a baby having a baby, kind of, it wasn't, so I ended up going to try and get my GED. I only got a few of my tests done, and then at that time I got into like a bad relationship. And I ended up starting using again, and I ended up losing custody of my daughter. That was my baby. This was my heart, my whole life was ripped out of my, So I got deeper into the drugs and alcohol. I was back and on the streets again. I got clean and sober, and I wanted to come back and finish my GED. I was homeless, still living in transitional housing, and so I was with a tutor from MSC, and I ended up getting my GED. And that was super exciting. And then after that, I entered the Thrive program, and I needed help with employment and job readiness skills because I didn't have any of that. They gave me life skills training. They gave me interpersonal skills to help me reintegrate into society and to help me persevere and to be resilient and to help me believe in myself when I didn't. They also helped me get into my own apartment, so it is more stable housing, and I got my own apartment. Then they hired me on as one of the interns at MSC. I finally felt like I was somebody. Working for MSC was a big part of my life. That was huge. I had people there that believed in me, and with my case manager, Amanda, she was more than a case manager to me. She was my mentor. She was my support. She was my advocate. She was my friend, and I trusted her when I had a hard time trusting adults and coming from that, and that's important. And with working with youth and who have been homeless and out there on the streets who had nobody to trust. They didn't have a trusting adult in their life, and she believed in me at the time when I never even believed in myself. So it was a big thing in my life, and I was doing so good. I had my own place. I was working. I was financially stable. I was making money. I was in a really good place. My husband, at the time, he was drinking and back into that, and so I ended up, after my contract ended, I ended up going back to my old ways and drinking, and I eventually lost everything again. So I was out there running the streets, and then after that, my husband was killed. He was hit by a semi-truck. That was the hardest thing I ever had to go through. After that, I completely fell, the hardest I ever went. Ended up getting into prostitution and drug dealing, and I did all that. Eventually, I ended up catching a charge, and that's what I needed. And then after that, I decided to go to college. MSC really helped me to equip me with the tools that I needed from what I had learned back then, that, hey, I can do this again, and I can be a productive member of society, and you've did it once before, you can do it again. I look at all those tools, and it was able to help me push through and go through and start my education. I just graduated from college in June, and I have my bachelor's in youth development, my AAS in chemical dependency, and my AAS in human services. I'm very passionate about martial arts, and I study Tai Chi and Kung Fu. With my daughter, I've been able to reunite with her, and it's a beautiful relationship and friendship we have, yeah. Everybody who worked at MSC, they're carrying hearts for people and wanting to help them, and that change is possible, and that there is hope.